Yes,
Hello?
Mayor.
Okay.
Ready? Board of Commissioners, public meeting, Tuesday, March 17th, 2015. The time is now 7:50. Pursuant to the requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, notice of this meeting was published in the December 11th, 2014 issues of the Nutley Sun, the Star Ledger, and the Herald News. A copy of this notice has been posted on the Nutley Town Hall Bulletin Board, and a copy is on file in the Municipal Clerk's office. Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Here.
Commissioner Evans is absent, excused this evening. Commissioner Scarpelli?
Here.
Mayor Petracco?
Here. Thank you. We'll move on to minutes, please.
Yes, tonight we have Board of Commissioners meetings for February 17, 2015. I need a motion.
Move it. Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Okay, and we have communications, I say, and correspondence.
Yes, Mayor. The St. Mary's class reunion has submitted a social affair permit for their 50th grammar school reunion for Saturday, April 18th, 2015. I need a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye, and we might as well just do the reports before our proclamation.
Mayor, I have a shade tree report for the month of February 2015.
Thank you.
Mayor, I also have various reports for 2015.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we are going to take a couple things out of order before we go. This evening we have our girls basketball team that we prepared a proclamation. Commissioner Tucci and myself prepared this proclamation. Unfortunately, Commissioner Tucci had some personal matters at the time of some of the games, but I could assure you he was texting me at a halftime, and my son Salvatore wanted to know who was texting me during the game, but it was Commissioner Tucci because he shared a big interest. So I'm going to read half of the proclamation, and then I'll have a couple comments at the end. Whereas the Nutley High School Raiders girls basketball team defeated second-seeded Voorhees High School 57-53 to capture the 16-team New Jersey State Interscholarship Athletic Association North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 Tournament Championship Monday night, March 9th at Voorhees and Glen Gardner. And whereas this win marks the first girls basketball sectional championship for Nutley since the 1976-77 season. Whereas the team who was seeded 13th, I'll read that over. Whereas the team who was seeded 13th in the state prevailed and unseeded the number 1, 2nd, 4th, and 5th seeds in the state. And Commissioner Tucci, please.
Whereas under third-year head coach and NHS alumnus Larry Mitchell, assistant coaches Matt Francello, Ashley Raimondo, and Ashley Mastardo, the Raiders pulled off 4 straight upsets, extending their winning streak to 8 games to improve to a 17-13 record. Whereas other Raider team players contributing to the standout season include Carly Anderson, Angeli Bosbali, hope I pronounced that correctly, Jen Callahan, Melanie Shazmar, Brielle Feaster, Sarah Gruder, Emily Hewitt, Sydney Kuntz, Olivia Laneza, Giovanna Modica, and Blair Watson. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that through hard work, dedication, and perseverance, the Nutley High School Raiders girls basketball team has been rewarded with recognition for their efforts and have also succeeded in making the Township of Nutley extremely proud to call them their own.
Thank you.
Ladies.
Commissioner Scarpelli, do you have a few comments for these young ladies?
Thank you, Mayor. Girls, congratulations. Lots of hard work went into that. I don't want to give away my age, but that 76-77 team was my senior year. I didn't play much on that team, but...
Either or? Either or?
Either. But they are, they're still very good friends of mine, the girls on that team. And that's what's most important about high school athletics. You develop relationships, and I'll tell you, 30, 40 years from now, you girls are all still going to be friends. So congratulations.
Commissioner Rogers.
Well, a job well done. Certainly the coaches, and I know your parents, they probably worked very, very hard to make sure that they instilled a lot of character and teamwork in you. You brought much pride and positive recognition to the town and to the school. Job well done, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Tucci?
Yes, I'd like to start because a winning team starts with great leadership. So Larry, you, Matt, and the two Ashleys did a wonderful job preparing these ladies. I'm extra proud of you, aside from the fact that some of you are my neighbors. If not, I've seen you throughout our rec programs, because I believe most of you, if not all of you, have participated at one time or another, and I'd like to believe that that helped prepare you for this, all right? And then once you got to the level that you're at now, you took it to another level, all right? And you've made us extremely proud, and we'll always be proud of you, and this is a distinction that you will carry with you for the rest of your lives. Congratulations, all of you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I do have a few comments tonight. I'll echo Commissioner Tucci's comments about the coaching. Larry and Matt are two good friends of mine. Thanks for all the texts to remind me about the games. And I have to tell you, I started coming to the games, maybe games 2 and 3 and halfway through the season, and I have to tell you, I never in a million years thought that you guys would be in a state final game at that time. And I thought the coaches had their hands full. However, this goes to show you when you guys are a team. And that's the most important thing in the world. And that was what made me the most proud of all of you girls. Because when everybody participated and you guys got your act together, there was no one that could touch you. I went to that Voorhees game. I have to tell you, I'm a old frustrated athlete myself, and that was probably the best sporting event that I've ever been at, other than the Yankees World Series against Boston, Game 7. So the gym was alive. It really brought the township together. Like Commissioner Scarpelli said, I wasn't in his grade at all. I was much after him. But I do remember that great team that they had back then, and I'll tell you, it just brings the town to life. So I just really want to congratulate you guys. I hope, and you will remember for the next 30 years, that escort that we brought you guys home on with the fire trucks and the police department. It was really, people were asking me the next day what was going on in town, that, you know, the cops and firemen were out all night with those bells and whistles going. But it was really, really, really well earned. I could tell you, all the commissioners here, the first thing that's the most important to us in Nutley is the Nutley youth. And even the fans that were there. I saw a lot of get-ups there and people with blue hair and this and that. You know, to see all of our Nutley students go in other towns and represent us well and fight to the end is really what Nutley's all about. Because, you know, once you're a Nutley Raider, I could tell you firsthand, you know, that title never leaves you, and you really served our community with great pride. So I'm very proud of you. It was a team effort. I can't stress that enough. I don't want to single anybody out, but the Gruder girl, Sarah, when you hit those 3-pointers and you were banking them in Voorhees, boy, man, we were going nuts in the crowd. So congratulations to all of you. And this in closing, too, because defense is an important part. You know, one of the girls, and I'm sorry I don't know all your names, but the girl that defended, the girl that was the shooter at Voorhees, that usually goes under the radar. The girls playing the defense never get credit, because I was one of them guys too. I could tell you, you did a great job of shutting that girl down. So from the bottom of my heart, what a great tribute to the girls basketball team, the coaches, Nutley High School, and the township. Coach, would you like to say a few words before we bring you up here? Please. You have to come to the mic, though. We have to embarrass you a little bit, Larry.
Board of Commissioners for having us here, and Mayor Petracco, we really appreciate it. I'm glad most of the team was able to get out tonight, along with my coaching staff. And just like everyone said up front here, as I hope it brought the town together as much as we could. It was a great run. We had a lot of support behind us, whether it was through the school and parents and students and just people I don't know coming to me and texting me I haven't seen in years and saying thank you. And great parents we had all season. I know it's tough to deal with me at times, and I've told these kids numerous times, some of them don't like me, but they play hard for us, and I love all of them, and I couldn't ask for a better group of kids, and just thanks for tonight for the support.
You're a great person, Larry. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Hope so. You guys are more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, Mr. Kunz, if you like.
Don't leave.
Thanks for coming again, guys.
Come back.
Okay, at this point, we're going to take another resolution out of order, Madam Clerk. Commissioner Tucci?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Whereas autism is a complex neurobiological disorder which inhibits a person's ability to communicate and develop social relationships, which is often accompanied by behavioral challenges, and whereas autism affects all persons regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or geography, and whereas Autism Speaks was founded in February 2005 by Bob and Suzanne Wright, grandparents of a child with autism, and whereas the mission of Autism Speaks is to change the future for all who struggle with autism spectrum disorders, and whereas Autism Speaks is dedicated to funding global biomedical research into the causes, preventions, treatments, and cure for autism, to raising public awareness about autism and its effects on individuals, families, and society, and to bring hope to all who deal with the challenges of the disorder. And whereas on April 2nd, 2015, Autism Speaks invites everyone to light it up blue by replacing outdoor lighting with blue bulbs to help raise awareness about autism. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, acknowledge the achievements, abilities, and needs of people with autism spectrum disorder and their families, as well as leadership communities, especially the Township of Nutley, that take pride in recognizing and acknowledging April 2nd as Autism World Awareness Day and April as Autism Awareness Month. Before I introduce this resolution, we are also handing out, on behalf of the township, at the Parks Department and in the clerk's office, blue lights for folks who wish to light it up blue. and we encourage everyone to do that. So we have them available. Mayor, I proudly move this resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Call them up.
Sure. Would you like to speak
Yeah.
first? Lori, we know you always have a few things to say.
Just a few. So I
Take
just
your
want to
time.
thank the Board of Commissioners for lighting Nutley up blue again this April for Autism Awareness Month. By lighting it up blue, we are helping raise awareness about the growing public health concern that is autism. It is becoming an epidemic, and it is important to get the awareness out there. And I just found out that the Freedom Tower is going to be lighting it up blue. So we're joining a lot of great buildings that are going to be lighting it up blue for April 2nd. So on behalf of Alec and my family, I'm honored to accept this proclamation again.
That's
So
wonderful.
thank you.
Well, we're glad they took our lead, and we have some. We want to take a photo if we can, and
Sure.
we have some bulbs
Sure.
for you and Dad. Okay.
I'm gonna say the rest of the Hell's Kitchen is on. I gotta go.
The woman's name is? You know what the woman's name is? Oh, I'll have to find out.
Hell's Kitchen. I have no life. I'm retired. What can I tell you?
Okay.
Courtney, you're on your own.
Busy night. Okay, Madam Clerk, I think we have to move to bills.
Yes, Mayor. Public Affairs, $148,541.62. Revenue and Finance, $5,774,271.06. Public Safety, $51,820.07. Public Works, $344,038.18. Parks and Public Property, $57,553.83. Total payroll, $797,545.97, for a grand total of $7,173,770.73. Need a motion?
Move the bills.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Thank you. So now we'll move on to ordinance introductions. I will read it by title. Ordinance number 3304, it's state fiscal year 2015, model ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. I move that this ordinance be passed to a second reading and advertised in the Nutley Sun together with the notice required by law, and that further consideration of said ordinance for final passage by the Board of Commissioners to be held at its second reading on April 12, 2015. I move the ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye, and just for the record, I'm reading this for Commissioner Evans tonight, being he's absent. Ray, would you like to say a few words now or after the resolution? Yeah, if you want to comment on this.
On the cap bank.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, Mayor, tonight was the introduction of the COLA ordinance or cap bank ordinance. What it does is it gives the township the opportunity to record a paper transaction. There's no money going into a separate bank. All this allows you to do is, in the current year, you're under the levy or the appropriation cap. So this ordinance would allow you to set that amount aside, and in future years, if you had the need to expend higher than the allowable appropriation cap, which is 1.5, then you can use that, and that expires after 2 years on the appropriation cap. So it's really just a planning mechanism. It's not, there's no money transacted. You're just setting aside the ability to increase your appropriation a little lower 1 year, a little higher 1 year. You can balance it out over 3 years.
Right. And just for the record, can you just state your full name and the name of your company?
Sure, Raymond Serenelli. I'm a partner with Nisabaj, auditors for Nutley Township.
Thank you so much, Frank. Okay, let me find the resolution. Oh. Thank you, Ro. Okay, on behalf of Commissioner Evans, again, Section 1, Municipal Budget of the Township of Nutley County of Essex, State of New Jersey for the fiscal year 2015. Be resolved that the following statements and revenues and appropriations shall constitute the municipal budget for the year 2015. Be it further resolved, which said budget be published in the Nutley Sun issued of April 2nd, 2015. The governing body of the Township of Nutley does hereby approve the following as the budget for the year 2015. Notice is hereby given that the budget and the tax resolution was approved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex on March 17, 2015. A hearing on the budget and the tax resolution will be held at the Municipal Building on April 21st, 2015 at 7 p.m., at which time and place objections to said budget and tax resolution for the year 2015 may be presented by taxpayers or other interested persons. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to resolutions. Commissioner wait, did you want to say a few words on that also? I'm sorry.
Again, still Ray Serenelli.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Mayor, I spoke with Commissioner Evans earlier today, and even though there's not a public session on the budget tonight and the public doesn't have the budget yet, and it's going to be advertised and available for inspection, he did want me to just read a few facts into the record so that the public had that information tonight. So I'll go through that briefly. The 2015 budget is in the amount of $54,263,671. The budget is within both caps, both the appropriation cap and the levy cap. The 2015 tax levy is $37,001,510, which is actually $138,020 less than it was last year. Now, on the surface, that sounds wonderful. However, all of you know you're dealing with some state aid. As a result of the loss of Hoffman LaRoche, you lost $102 million in assessed value from Hoffman LaRoche. So even though your tax levy will be going down in all likelihood by a little over $100,000, taxpayers will see an increase. The reason we're not describing all of those amounts is because this budget that you've just introduced, the Division of Local Government Services only allowing you to anticipate 85% of the proposed aid, and Commissioner Evans is still in negotiations with the Department, Division of Local Government Services, Department of Community Affairs, to try and obtain the other 15%. The other 15% is significant. It's over $9,000. So that process is still going on. On the expense side,
Excuse me, Ray, can I interrupt you for 1 minute? You're absolutely right. Commissioner Evans is our point person on this. But this is, in fact, a team effort on behalf of all the commissioners and reaching out and contacting our state officials and our county officials to see what we can do to get that additional 15% to bring us to that 100% level. So this is a negotiation that we're all working on, but as you said, and very correctly, Commissioner Evans is in fact leading that charge with the support and help of all the other commissioners.
Good.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
just,
you.
I was just
I knew you were going to
getting
get around to that, but I
Okay, so
Could I jump in?
the actual spending plan of the budget, you have to net out a significant amount because you're getting all of the aid for the school and the county as well. So you have to deduct that out. When you compare last year's budget to this year's budget, the total increase for the entire budget is $317,000 on a $50 million plus budget. That's 0.6% or 0.6%. That's less than 1% increase on the spending plan. Obviously, that's well within the 2% cap, and certainly demonstrates all of, Commissioner Tucci, you're going to like this part. It represents an effort by all of the commissioners to hold the line on spending in a year where you're dealing with a difficult issue of losing that much in assessed value, knowing that every dollar will impact the tax rate. So Commissioner Evans wanted to pass that along, that the commissioners did a terrific job in holding the spending. And lastly, that the budget that you introduced is just the municipal share. As you know, up there, that the county and the school is responsible for their part. You're acting on your own part, which is the municipal part of the budget.
Right, before you said, every year, I think I asked the same question sitting up here. How would you say that Nutley fares in the state as far as being responsible, if there's any increase, how we spend our money? What would be your comments as far as how we are doing our jobs?
Well, I think if you looked at just the required increase for health insurance, set that aside as a required payment, not sure of the exact dollars, but it was about the amount of the total increase in spending for all across the budget on a $50 million budget for really only one line item to increase the expense. And again, 0.6% in spending for year over year. It's probably one of the lowest increases that you'll see in the area. A lot of towns still haven't introduced their budget, but when you start to look at what the increase in spending is on other budgets in the area, I'm sure you'll see numbers in the 1.5 to 2.5 or 3% area. So you're on the very low end this year on what the increase is.
So we would fare good in this throughout your areas that you travel. And how many towns do you represent?
55.
Good. That's good news. Thank you so much for coming, and thanks for being patient through our proclamations and stuff. We appreciate your help.
That was a pleasure.
Thank you, Ray. Okay. Now I believe we're going to move on to resolutions, Commissioner Tucci?
Sure, Mayor. Thank you. Whereas the Center for Disease Control estimates that 300,000 concussions are sustained during sports-related activity each year in the United States, and whereas a concussion is a traumatic brain injury caused by direct or indirect blow to the head or body, and whereas in order to ensure the safety of our young athletes, it's imperative that the athletes, coaches, and parents/guardians are educated about the nature and treatment of sports-related concussions and brain injuries, and whereas allowing a young athlete to return to play before recovering from a concussion increases the chance of a more serious brain injury that can result in severe disability and/or death. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following protocol shall be applicable to each sports organization sponsored by the municipality or using municipal facilities. Number one, when a concussion is suspected during a practice or competition, A, the athlete shall be immediately removed from competition or practice, and 911 should be called if there is a deterioration of symptoms, loss of consciousness, or direct neck pain associated with the injury. B, in addition to the appropriate official in the sports organization, the coach or manager shall notify the parents or guardians and inform them of the suspected sports-related concussion. C, the child shall be evaluated by a physician who is trained in the evaluation and management of concussions to determine whether or not a diagnosis of concussion is warranted. D, information and instructions regarding return to learn and return to play shall be provided to the parent and guardians. The child must receive written clearance from a physician trained in the evaluation and management of concussions that states the student athlete is asymptomatic at rest. 2, pursuant to the requirements of NJSA 2A:62A, all staff, volunteers, coaches, and officials shall complete a brain injury prevention training program that includes information about risk of concussion, prevention of concussion, and return to academic and sports-related activities when a concussion is suspected during practice or competition. 3, on an annual basis, each sports organization shall provide the municipality with the list of all such staff, volunteers, coaches, and officials, along with evidence of completion of a course that meets the requirement of the protocol. 4, if a sports organization is based in another municipality that has similar requirements, compliance with the requirements of this resolution can be met by producing a letter from the municipal clerk of the hometown verifying that such organization is in compliance with the town's protocol. 5, if a sports organization sponsored by this municipality uses facilities of any Board of Education, it shall comply with that Board of Education's sports concussion prevention program adopted pursuant to NJSA 8A:40-41.3. 6, a copy of this resolution shall be sent to each sports organization using municipal facilities. B, the Board of Education and Regional Board of Education, if applicable, which is not in Nutley. C, the Brain Injury Alliance of New Jersey, Concussions and Youth Sports Committee, 825 Georges Road, North Brunswick, New Jersey. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Before I vote, this is a resolution that was recommended to us by our GIF partners and the Mel administration, which I represent on behalf of Nutley and also the chairman of. And this is something that we, both in the township and at the Board of Ed, have been very proactive with in keeping our children safe. So this is just taking it to the next level. Thank you.
Mayor.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Thank you. Okay, I will read Commissioner Evans' resolutions. Be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley and the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the treasurer be and is hereby authorized to refund overpayment of property taxes in the amount of $41,932.88 for said years due to successful tax court judgments. Blocks and lots are 3101-1, 20 West Plaza. The amount is $5,767.82. 20 West Plaza, $10,556.76. 20 West Plaza, $11,345.33. 20 West Plaza, $14,262.96. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Whereas the Township of Nutley has the need to acquire the services of professional real estate appraiser to assist with the real estate appraiser's tax appeals and tax court appearances, and to complete the necessary procedures to ensure the capture of added assessments arising from ongoing improvement activities in the Township of Nutley as non-fair and open contract pursuant to provisions of NJSA 19:44A-20.4 or 20.5 as appropriated, and whereas the tax assessor has determined and certified in writing that the value of the aggregated services provided by the vendor for the year will exceed $17,500. And whereas Hendricks Appraisal Company, LLC, 7 Hutton Avenue, West Orange, New Jersey, has submitted a fee schedule for providing such services, the total of which is not to exceed $60,000. And whereas the anticipated term of this contract is for 12 months from January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2015. Whereas Hendricks Appraisal Company, LLC has completed and submitted a business entity disclosure certification which certifies that they have not made any reportable contributions to a political or candidate committee in the Township of Nutley in the previous 1 year, and that the contract will prohibit them from making any reportable contributions through the term of this contract. And whereas funds are available from account 5-01-204-205 and has been certified by the Chief Financial Officer, said certification to be attached to this resolution. Now, therefore, it be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, authorizes the mayor to enter into a contract with Hendricks Appraisal Company LLC, and be it further resolved that the business disclosure entity certification and the determination of the value of the place on file with this resolution. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Whereas New Jersey Statute 48-419 provides that were debt services to be paid in 2015 prior to the time of the financial adoption of the 2015 budget, temporary appropriations should be made for the amount of such debt services in this manner and time thereon provided. And whereas the date of this resolution is subsequent to the December 20th, 2014, whereas the debt service will become due during the first 6 months of 2015. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, that the following temporary appropriations be made. Current fund interest on bonds, 5-01-816-200 for $63,022. The total debt service is $63,022. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Aye. Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Whereas 48:4-20 provides that where contracts, commitments, or payments are to be made to prior to final adoption of the 2015 budget, emergency appropriation may be lawfully made for the purposes and amounts required in the manner and time thereon provided. And whereas the total emergency temporary resolutions adopted in the year 2015 pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 96 PL 1951, including the resolution total of $10,210,746. Now, therefore, it be resolved that in accordance with NJSA 40A:4-20, one emergency temporary appropriation be and the same are hereby made for the total amount $10,210,746. Two, the said emergency temporary appropriations will provide for in the 2015 budget as follows. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Whereas 48:4-20 provides that where contract commitments or payments are to be made prior to the final adoption of the 2015 water utility budget, emergency appropriations may be lawfully made for the purposes and amounts required in the manner and time thereon provided. And whereas the total emergency temporary resolution adopted in the year 2015 pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 96 PL 1951, including this resolution, total $1,107,773.63. Now, therefore, be resolved that in accordance with the NJS 40A:4-20, one emergency temporary appropriations be and the same are hereby made for the total amount $1,107,773.63. Two, the said emergency temporary appropriations will be provided for the 2015 water utility budget as follows. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Okay, that was Commissioner Evans. We'll move on to Commissioner Scarpelli.
Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the Township Clerk is hereby authorized to advertise for sealed bids for the reconstruction of Chestnut Place and Willow Place, Nutley, New Jersey, to be received on behalf of the Board of Commissioners in the Commission Chambers, Township Hall, 1 Kennedy Drive, Nutley, New Jersey, on Wednesday, April 8, 2015, at 3 p.m. prevailing time, which time they will be open and read. And move the resolution.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye.
Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the Township Clerk is hereby authorized to advertise for sealed proposals, RFP, for the marketing of recyclable materials collected from the Township of Nutley to be received on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, Commission Chambers, Township Hall, 1 Kennedy Drive, Nutley, New Jersey, on Wednesday, April 15, 2015, at 3 p.m. prevailing time, at which time they will be open. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Rogers.
And, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. This is my resolution. Whereas the Township of Nutley Department of Public Safety has the need to acquire the services of a labor council as non-fair and open contract pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 19:44A-20.4 or 20.5 as appropriated. And whereas the Director of Public Safety has determined and certified in writing that the value of the acquisition will exceed $17,500, where the anticipated term of the contract is January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2015, and may be extended as approved by this governing body. And whereas the law offices of Serinsky and Hollenbach LLC, 1100 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst, New Jersey, has submitted a proposal indicating that they provide the Labor Council at a rate of $125 per hour. And whereas the firm of Serinsky Hollenbach has completed a business entity disclosure certification, which certifies that the firm has not made any reportable contributions to political or candidates committee in the Township of Nutley in the previous 1 year, and that the contract will prohibit the firm of Serinsky and Hollenbach from making any reportable contribution through the term of the contract. And whereas the funds are available from account 5-01-012-205 to not to exceed $50,000 and will be appropriated in the 2015 budget and have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer, said certification being attached to this resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley authorizes a contract with the firm of Serinsky and Hollenbach as described hereon, and be it further resolved that the business disclosure entity certification and determination of value be placed on file with the resolution, and be it further resolved that the notice of this action shall be printed in the Nutley Sun in accordance with the local public contracts law. I move the resolution.
Second?
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. That concludes our business portion of the meeting. Before I open it up to the public, I would just like to welcome and thank our counsel tonight, Dave Parrish, for coming. We appreciate your help always.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Dave. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to address the Board of Commissioners?
Mayor, if I might, I'd just like to wish everyone a very happy and healthy St. Patrick's Day. I know we're coming to the end of the day, but there's still some time to celebrate. Everyone who is Irish and who wants to be Irish today should enjoy themselves and be responsible in that enjoyment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Need a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Before I vote, there's just one other item, all right, that I'd like to address. There was an article that was brought to my attention by Mayor Petracco about an appliance company, Pilch Appliances, who had some not so nice things to say about the Township of Nutley, and I just want to applaud the mayor and all the commissioners for coming to the defense of the township, because not only was the consultant totally off base and erroneous in his remarks, but he was taking the township's name in vain and kind of putting our people down, which was totally unwarranted. So obviously he doesn't know the area, he doesn't know the township, nor does he know the other township that he was speaking of. So I'd like to thank the mayor and all the commissioners for doing their due diligence and coming to the defense of the township. Not that we need it, so that the record is clarified and everyone understands exactly where we stand. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Tucci. And I'd just like to say, too, that that statement was appalling. We wind up getting a confirmation and an answer back from the company and actually the person who wrote the article. So I don't think they will be tainting our name of Nutley any longer. And I'd like to just say that, Nutley is a beautiful community, and, we're very pleased to live here. And that was really off base what they spoke of. And thank you, Commissioner Tucci. I appreciate that, and all the Board of Commissioners for stepping into that. Now we need a motion to adjourn. Madam Clerk?
We had Commissioner Scarpelli and seconded by Commissioner Rogers. Commissioner Tucci, was that an aye?
I voted aye, yes.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
And Mayor Petracco?
Aye, thank you. Happy St. Patrick's Day, all.
Thank you, and the time is now 8:34.
I appreciate that.
I'm giving
You want me to take that
Yes,
for you?
please.
Okay.
Thank you very
And it
much.
was so nice to finally meet
Oh,
you.
it's nice to see you.
Oh my God. This is so
See you,
fun.
Commissioner.
It's all right.
Last. Night to all.
Big one. Everything's on.
All the people we seem to know are starting to, no, I hate to say it.
Thomas, a wonderful parade, Thomas.
I'm letting you know I had to give my pin away. I'm sending one to Irish Eddie down the shore.
He grew up on Western Place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he raised his whole
Right by-
family there.
And I was
Yeah, well, you're parked in there, right there.
Super nice.
Yeah, the father's down the shore. The son, what is he? Is he a battalion chief now? Captain? Yeah. He's in the Belleville Fire Department.
That's not Joe. Which one?
Hank's right. He married Kelly Nash. Clerk. Captain?